Greetings, welcome to the HF studio. This afternoon I'm delighted to introduce Luanne Ashe, who will be talking to us about ways in which she actually uses Ecamm Live. So, without further ado, Luanne, sorry, how are
That's
you?
okay.
Good to see
I'm
you.
well. And
Excellent.
and we're shaking hands across the waves
Indeed, across the Atlantic, definitely. Yes, from Cornwall to Canada.
in the
So,
center, the center of the hub of Canada.
indeed, cool. So, yeah, I've been following you on the academy, and you've been doing lots of progress. I think in terms of, I have a lot of respect and time for you. Because in terms of because in terms of what you call, distance traveled, you probably are the one that has achieved the most in terms of, covering ground from sort of zero to where you're now.
Oh my
So
goodness, there's still so much ground to cover.
yeah, for sure. No, but I think that's the challenge. So that's really great because yeah, you've achieved you've covered a lot of ground in just these few whatever it is, 2-3 weeks, something like that. So
Thanks,
it's
Harry. You make me feel better.
yeah, no. I think it's very good. You've taken the bull by the horns. I have to say that. So respect, Luanne here. No, and I mean it. I really mean it. So yeah, I've been intrigued by how are you going to be using Ecamm?
Well,
Uh-huh.
shall I explain how I got started in this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, this whole lockdown has affected the whole world.
Hmm.
And I'm a private music teacher, and my whole business went whoosh, out the
Of
door.
course, yes.
After age, well, let me see. In 2010, I made a bit of a career change to become an actor and model,
Hmm.
which I had not pursued since my wild and crazy youth, let's just say.
Excellent.
and and so all of these things kind of play together in how I'm going to use Ecamm because with the lockdown, then we got every all of our businesses changed, the face of them changed, and we had to learn technology very quickly in order to let our creative spirits fly.
Yes,
Because,
quite.
and so I started out using Zoom and tried to do Zoom music lessons. And I just have to say that if you are a voice teacher like me or a
Mhm.
wind teacher like me, it's impossible. The
Right.
lag is too bad.
Yeah.
And so I had to adapt a lot of things. And then I had to rethink how was I going to present myself in the world.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I started out with being Mrs. Santa for a while.
All right. Cool.
And I did it live in 2019, the Christmas. I was an on-site Mrs. Santa for pop-up markets for a major company, and I loved that character. I love being that character. And when the opportunity came in April, I would say March of 2020,
Uh-huh.
uh, that I could do this online, I jumped at
Of
the
course.
chance.
Absolutely.
And so I just started investing in little bits here and there because I'm not a rich person.
Sure.
I'm a little music teacher in a small
Yeah.
town. And,
Yeah.
you invest in a piece of equipment here, a costume there, all of that, built the character, built the scene. But it, the project was excellent. It was excellently well funded and all of that, but it just didn't get started soon enough for the market to come in,
Hmm.
for the clients to come in, to take advantage of that. So that was a big disappointment. And, you have to learn to deal with disappointment and carry on, find another way for your river to flow. And so
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are very wise words. Absolutely. Could you repeat that, please?
you need to find a different place for the river to flow when
Yeah.
you face disappointment, because disappointment comes.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Harry, but I have reinvented myself probably once a decade.
Yes. Same
Using the
here.
same, yeah, using the same gifts and talents and all of that.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
how do I use this
Yeah.
in this changing environment?
Absolutely.
And I'm of
Yes.
an age now where, I'm not exactly going to go and audition on Broadway or anything like
So it's
that.
Ecamm.
So this whole reinvention, and I want to tell you how I found Ecamm.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Adrian Salisbury. I had taken a course with a very respected couple of men who
Hmm.
were preparing narrators for audiobooks,
Hmm.
for audible audiobooks.
Hmm.
And I took a very intensive and what I thought to be expensive course on self-producing for audiobooks. So I bought some more expensive equipment to do that.
Hmm.
But shortly after, well, no, I guess it was in 2020, the instructor sent to his email broadcast, "You should do this." And he was promoting Adrian's course on camera
All right.
because, of course, the voice actor was instructing via internet, and he wanted his production work to look better, and he did. And I said to myself, okay, so I trust this guy,
Of
and
course.
now I trust Adrian.
Of course. Yes,
Because,
absolutely.
when you're out there, you're a little old lady, you're out there in the universe, there's a lot of scammers.
Yeah, no,
And so,
definitely. There's scammers everywhere.
yeah, so you want to do what you trust. So anyway,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
was very excited to find out that the Ecamm course was going up because I had already started using Zoom
Hmm.
in order to host Bible study classes. And that was what really got me super motivated. It was in 2020, it was the 1st of April, and our churches all got shut down.
Hmm.
And then everybody was in limbo, and it was a terrible, terrible emotional time for everyone.
Sure.
And I got the distinct impression that I needed to gather certain people around me to
Hmm.
study together. So anyway, we started doing study classes, Bible study classes, and that's how it
Excellent.
started.
Wow.
And then the production quality is not good because, okay, I don't have television in my house, and I haven't since 2008,
Hmm.
but I've
Good for
become a
you.
YouTube addict.
Of course.
Well,
Yeah,
on the internet, you can sit in on very well respected professors and scientists' lectures. You can learn a lot. People
absolutely.
put it people put it down as entertainment, but I consider that network television is entertainment.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And,
absolutely. Yeah.
and if I can learn from a professor, so this online learning I'd already started with. Well, I
Hmm.
started it quite some time ago with my when I was doing my last music degree
Right.
after I turned 50. And so,
Good.
I'm called an early adopter. But anyway, back to Ecamm.
Yeah.
So I saw the quality of the production and learning with Adrian and all of you guys in the group has been so much fun, and it has taken away the it's taken away that self-limiting thing that says I might not be good enough, I might not look good enough, I might
So
not have a
true.
message,
So
I
true.
might not have the right equipment. All of
Yeah.
those things,
Yeah.
those objections that our minds raise to us
Hmm.
in front of a worthwhile project that we might
Hmm.
have in mind,
Hmm.
they Adrian and his crew just
Yeah.
breezed through that. Did you
Yeah.
find that too?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think for me, the turning point was finding Ecamm was because, like you, when we were talking in the green room, I started looking at OBS. And although I'm not a techie, but I'm quite geeky in some way. I've got a bit of a obsessive compulsive streak in me. so, so if I get like a dog with a bone, So, and I looked at OBS and I said, "No, this is too difficult. I'll never learn it." So I started looking at other alternatives, and it was somebody that had used Ecamm, a photographer, or I think it may have been another photographer in England, And he recommended Ecamm, and he says it's best thing ever. And I could see from the results that he was producing that yeah, it was good, and it was the kind of thing that I wanted to produce. Right? Like, yeah. So I went over to Ecamm, and I liked it immediately. I watched actually Doc's show
Oh,
live that Friday, right? Just by chance. Do you know how things kind of align themselves? This
yes. Yeah.
incredible synchronicity. There's somebody out there, watching over us almost. And and then I heard about the academy running, and it was only like a couple of days before. Right? Oh, it was a couple of days after. It was like the Friday. It was starting on the Monday, so I signed up straight away. And that's how I ended up there. And I think before that, I was looking at Adobe because I'm a photographer. So I was looking at Adobe. They had a kind of online event going on with different practitioners, photographers, and they had this person giving a demo of using Photoshop with their images, and they were. I don't mean to be horrible, but they were dreadful photographs, absolutely dreadful
Who?
photographs, right? But they were very good at Photoshop, at compositing an image, right? So
Oh, okay.
from a very bad setup, they were a dreadful photographer, absolutely dreadful photographer, right? I've had students, beginners, that were better than this one, right? Really. But then they were very good at Photoshop, at compositing an image. So from these very poor images, they actually made one image together that was actually very good. Right? And I said, this is really interesting. This sort of changes everything here. This kind of digital technology changes absolutely everything. So, yeah, this is how I said, well, if they can do it, well, anyone can do it, really.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what amazes me? Okay. So I've been a musician since I was 3 years old.
yeah,
And you keep building your craft and you keep learning things. And then you might learn an offshoot of something that isn't directly involved with your craft, but it aids your craft. And then you expand your knowledge outwards and outwards and outwards.
exactly, exactly.
So I came into the acting business just from stage work and children's theater
Right.
because I did that,
Yeah.
and I was a children's I'm a children's worker.
Okay. Good.
Anyway, and I've done that most of my life, like an
Right.
actor and a singer and a worship leader for children.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but this whole idea of the mystery of everything has gone beyond me. I always wished that when I was young that I could have my own little recording studio and just sit in there and play
Yeah.
and
YouTube.
experiment and have fun.
Absolutely.
And here we are. So
Yeah.
so now then you've expanded out, and I have been backstage with on television programs, and I've acted in television programs and various things like this. And
Cool.
you it's the same thing as getting a photographer's eye when you see
Exactly.
framing and you see composition and all of that. Well, I started to see it from the perspective of a video screen, and how they can make magic,
Of course.
silk purses out of sow's ears, in
Exactly.
essence.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so to think, okay, this is so exciting. Like
Yeah.
with Ecamm, we have the power, even
Right.
without the expense, of
Exactly.
self-producing
Exactly.
very high quality
Yes.
productions.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
That
You've got it. Yeah.
amazes me.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So yeah, this is what.
Mind you,
Yep.
I have to say this. Uh, Doing all of that, in the background, all of the preparation you have to do, all of
Mhm.
the practicing that you have to do when you're running through your scenes and all of this kind of things. I understand fully why you pay people well to do that for you.
Mm. Absolutely.
But it's
Yeah.
wonderful to have this option because you see my blue screen and the video, the viewers see the blue screen and you cannot see what's in behind there. But if
That's
I
it.
wanted to, of course, I could put a whole different background there.
Absolutely.
I could be in a fantasy land. You could do that for me too. Could you do that with Ecamm? Put a background in behind my blue screen if it was properly lit?
Yes, I could. Let me
I would.
try.
It might not work so well because it's not lit properly, but
Let me try. Let me have a look.
I'd like to be on the beach.
Yes. That's here because I've never tried it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is online learning
Yes,
in
absolutely.
process.
Here we have it here. No. No, yes, I know. I have, because I haven't done it, I would have to practice how to do it. But basically, for some reason, I
But
can't
it could be
find.
done, right?
But it can be done. Yeah, I could do it from here. Yes, there's a way of doing it. Yeah, because I've seen Adrian did a demo exactly like this, where he was leading and he had Owen by his side, and he changed Owen's background and he put him in an office, in a home office, in the beach.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Exactly, and so it can be done, and it's using the overlays,
Hmm.
and it's using the prearranged or the default overlays that are available, but I don't know how to do it. But yeah, it
Well,
can be
there's a
done.
challenge.
It can
There's a challenge.
it can be done. So yeah, I would have to. I think I have to go back to that video of his, the training video, and in one
Mhm.
of the earlier chapters. So yeah, so that's cool. I think it's a really interesting story how you've actually engaged with Ecamm and actually are taking it forward. And I commend you for that. Wow, that's really
Thank you.
really good.
I'm really
Absolutely.
having fun. I can only do little bits at a time, of course, because we have
Sure.
lives,
Sure.
and this is not my full time life doing
Sure, of
Ecamm. But
course,
um,
absolutely.
what I was working on that was not exactly successful, but I'm going to try the run again is to make that nice teaching studio look so that the camera or my camera is up in one corner, and then I have a whiteboard, which there are pre-written things on the whiteboards, just like running a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah,
It's been fun playing with that because you have to do all the construction work, and then you have to do the timing and ordering work.
exactly.
So if you were going to be actually using it as a teaching tool, so I
Exactly.
have that in mind. But I have to say,
Uh-huh.
since the Mrs. Claus thing fell
Yeah.
through last Christmas, I've been thinking about that character and who I am in that character.
Mm,
And I have a children's program planned that will be. That I don't have to worry about copyright because you have to be careful with that with books. You
absolutely.
can't
Yeah.
just read books on camera. You can't just sing songs on camera.
Hmm.
You can't just play music on camera. You have to be careful of copyright. So I have a project that I hope to be um, running in the in our live cam session probably before our 3 month thing runs out.
Yes.
So you
That's
guys will be the
excellent.
first people to see.
Yeah, no, delighted to do so. But listen, we've got. I think it's Val that's here. She's been contributing. Good to see you, Val.
Hi, Val.
Thank you for being here, watching us play around.
It must be really early in the morning where she is.
Yeah, must be.
I'm in the
Absolutely.
middle of Canada and she's on the west coast, I think.
That's
Aren't you, Val?
right.
Yeah.
Yes, no television. Good for you, Valerie. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm another one with no TV. So yeah, that makes two of us.
I have to
Yeah.
say, though, Val, it makes it hard when you are going into a TV situation to make a TV program and people are making reference to things that you have not participated in since
Yeah.
2008. So sometimes I have to get caught up on Netflix
Yeah. There you go.
for programs for
Excellent.
references.
So that's
Yeah.
cool. Well, Luanne, thank you so much for this interview. It's quite amazing. I really have a lot of admiration for it. I'm sure you're going to do absolutely fine. It's interesting because I think the whole thing about Ecamm, and this is something that I've noticed from the academy, everybody, and we come from different backgrounds and we do different things. And I've mentioned this before, but we're all creatives. And I think this is the
Yes.
common thread amongst. This is why we get on, right?
And our water is flowing
Yeah,
downstream the
it's
way,
this is the well,
it
and
might
I
have
think
taken a different path than we
yeah,
originally intended,
yeah.
but we are flowing.
Yeah, and this is why we get on and we can actually learn from each other because we all have that common thing that underneath it, the bottom line is that we're all creatives and we all reinvented ourselves in some way or another,
Hmm.
in a similar way that Adrian did as well.
Yes.
Because he was a photographer, designer, graphic designer, web builder, blah blah blah. Jack of all trades, and yeah,
Hmm.
like all the rest of us. So yeah. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much, Luanne. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure meeting you too, in
Terrific.
person, sort of.
Excellent. Sort of, yeah. Excellent. Okay. I'll be more than willing to actually reciprocate and be your guinea pig. So yeah, just let me know.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you so much, Luanne.
Nice chatting
See
today.
you. Nice chatting to you. Cheers. So, folks, that was amazing. That was Luanne. How interesting. That's an interesting path that she's taken in terms of her creative practice, and I think that's really good. I think her creative practice is reflected throughout all of us, really, doing Ecamm. So, on that note, folks, I'll leave you. See you till next time. Hope you've enjoyed, and thank you for being with us. I think it's Val and other anonymous Facebook users. So, bye to you too. Thanks. Bye for now.